What's going on, everyone?麦克老师. It is Thursday, March 17th, and I've been having a lot of friends, family, students just message me trying to figure out what the situation is like in Shanghai with regards to COVID and lockdowns and whatnot. So I will share what I'm seeing, what's happening in the community as objectively as I can. Try to stay neutral like Switzerland for the first half of the video, and then the second half of the video I'll just maybe kind of share my own personal opinions. Anyway, we are going out now to buy some groceries. There's been a bunch of people saying in our Xiaochu, our compound chat group, that they're gonna start locking down places where I live in Jing'an here. As far as I understand, they're just testing the whole city, and they're just kind of going district by district, block by block. A lot of my friends have already done it or are doing it right now. It's like a 48-hour, 2-day quarantine. I can think of 6 or 7 people currently that are on 2-week home quarantines because someone tested positive in their compound. This is where all our packages go and come down to get them. So it's kind of just a matter of time before we get shut down for 48 hours and get tested, and then hopefully no one tests positive in our compound, because if they do, then we'll be in 14-day quarantine, as far as I understand. So I would say for the last week or so, things have been a little on edge. You know, obviously there's no school, so we've been staying at home as much as possible. Most of the parks seem to be closed. As of 2 or 3 days ago in my district, there's no more dine-in at restaurants. You could do takeaway though. And I don't think that's all districts. I know there's some districts you can still dine in. So I'm basically just trying to avoid places which have a lot of people. Definitely malls are a no-go for me. Some of them have been closed for short periods, but in general I think they're still open. But I just don't want to chance it. I've seen different numbers on articles and some different numbers in the official count. There's anywhere from 60 to, some reports said 90% of the cases are asymptomatic. At any rate, it is the majority of cases, if the numbers are correct, are asymptomatic, which means most people that have COVID here are walking around and have no idea they have it. Again, I know this is anecdotal, but personally I can't think of anybody I know who has been tested positive, so that's good. So no one that I know has had to go to central quarantine. I've got one good friend who had to spend 2 nights in his office. After doing 2 weeks in a hotel last year, I'm just really not looking forward to doing 2 more weeks of quarantine, if that's what it comes down to. At least this time, if we do have to do it, it'll be at home. So here's our local fruit place. Still got plenty of fruit. So I just nipped into the fruit stand. I'm gonna get some avocado. Hey buddy. Nice tasty avocados.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was just walking by my barber and I noticed he's closed up the doors, so that's okay. Food is more important than haircuts. I'm gonna hop in the grocery store here and load up on some groceries. So, shelves are a little thin, but overall, like I said, you can pretty much get what you want. Plenty of rice, plenty of oil. I guess they're out of one thing: noodles and ramen. Those have been pretty well picked clean. Still a few items left, but funny story, my wife took my son to play with another boy one of the mornings last week, and they left, came back home, and about a half hour after that, her friend's compound got locked down on a 48-hour quarantine. So if she had stayed a half hour longer, she would have had to spend 2 nights there, I guess. So my personal opinions, which are of course subjective and biased, it's kind of reminding me back when the pandemic first started, and we were in Florida and just kind of staying home a lot, avoiding going into public places too much, and not being able to go to restaurants to eat in. But at some point, once they test everyone, the lockdowns should go away, at least temporarily, until the next round comes. It's kind of like that movie Jurassic Park, where the actor Jeff Goldblum says,
"Life finds a way."
It just keeps popping up. You're always, a day away from potential lockdown or quarantine. And I think we're actually quite fortunate we were able to go to Anhui for Chinese New Year, because a lot of my friends, my Chinese friends here, just haven't been able to go home in a couple years because of the pandemic. They probably missed their family. And for me, you know, my family is on the other side of the world, and it's just not looking like there's any way China's gonna open up in the near future. I mean, I get it, but it's tough. You know, I really miss my family, and I'm used to, you know, going back every summer and spending good weeks or months of quality time with them. Normally, I try to be optimistic, but I think the chances of me going home this year or even next year are pretty slim. It's definitely got me thinking a bit. When do I get to see my family next? That's just from my perspective. I get if you're from here, you live here, and you don't have any family outside of China, then there's no real reason that you'd want to open up. I get it, but that's not the case for me and for my family. So, you know, my parents aren't getting any younger. I know we just bought an apartment, but those material things aren't as important as spending time with your family, at least not to me. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like COVID's never going to end. However, I have to remain cautious and realistic, and the fact is, things could go on lockdown again. Anyway, I hope the situation here is cleared up soon. I have a feeling it's coming to a peak over the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. It should be pretty well under control. That's my theory, but it still could be quite a few weeks, maybe months, before we can really travel outside. As everything in life, can always be worse. Trying to see the positives, but at the same time, be realistic. That's just been on my mind a lot lately. So anyway, we got a bunch of food. We're gonna go home and hope for good news.
A little later.
All right, so I'm at this place. I can't go in, but I can order at the window. And he confirmed to me that everybody's going into lockdown tonight for 48 hours to do testing. So it's a good thing I made a second trip out here to get stuff, because that 48 hours could turn into 2 weeks, possibly. I hope not, but it's definitely possible. Oh man, that was insane. The official announcement came out and everybody went outside. Everybody's stocking up on stuff. I did a second run now that it's pretty much confirmed. I got some ramen noodles and a bunch of snacks, crackers, dry foods. Because now the only question is it going to be 2 days or 2 weeks? I'm glad we went this morning and got the bulk of the shopping done. So I will keep you guys posted as to the result. Again, hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. Wish me luck. And as always, please stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. 我是麦克老师，下次再见。